Oh, don't worry about her plate, my mother-in-law told the waiter. She's not really part of this dinner. Every head turned. I smiled. Then maybe I should speak to the owner. My name is Danielle Harper, and I'm 34 years old. I work as an operations manager for a hospitality group in Chicago. I grew up above my mom's tiny hair salon, where the air always smelled like hairspray and coffee. Money was tight, but pride was not. I learned early how to work hard and stay quiet. 3 years ago, I married Eric. His family cares about status, about last names, about who sits closest to the center of the table. To them, I was acceptable, but never impressive. Linda, my mother-in-law, made that clear with polite smiles that never reached her eyes. She would say things like, "That dress is brave," or "You're so practical." I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they didn't expect. I understood business. I understood contracts. I understood how power moves quietly. That dinner was never about food. It was about position, and she thought she could place me at the bottom. If you've ever felt like you didn't belong because of where you came from, subscribe. I know how it feels to sit there while people judge you. Tell me in the comments if you've been excluded on purpose. Click hype if you believe quiet strength wins. The restaurant was one of the most expensive in the city. Crystal glasses, soft piano music, the smell of butter and garlic drifting from the kitchen. Linda had booked a private room to celebrate Eric's promotion. When I arrived, I noticed something strange. There were place cards for everyone. His father, his sister, even a distant cousin. Not for me. I stood there holding my purse while the hostess checked the list twice. Linda walked over and said loudly, "We didn't include her in the head count. She can just watch." My chest tightened. Eric looked down at the table. He didn't say a word. A cousin leaned close and whispered, "Guess you're not official yet." I offered to leave. Linda waved her hand. "No, stay. It's good for you to see how these dinners work." When the waiter asked for my order, she cut him off. "She won't be ordering." A few people laughed under their breath. Then Linda raised her glass. "To family, the ones who truly belong." I felt the heat rise in my face, but I kept my voice steady. "Could you let the owner know Danielle Harper is here?" I asked the waiter. Linda smirked. "And why would he know you?" The piano music seemed louder. The room went still. After that night, things changed. Linda told relatives I was temporary. I found out I had been removed from the family group chat. Photos of events I was not invited to showed up online. When I asked Eric, he said, "She doesn't mean it like that." I felt invisible. Then came the money talks. Linda told Eric, "Keep your finances separate, just in case." She said it right in front of me. On Sunday lunch, she added, "Daniele wouldn't understand investment portfolios." I swallowed my anger. Eric started asking more questions about our shared accounts. Doubt slipped between us. Later, at a brunch with friends, Linda smiled sweetly and said, "She just works in service. Cute job." I set down my fork. "I manage multi-million-dollar operations," I said calmly. She laughed. "Oh, honey, that's adorable." Something inside me shifted. I stopped trying to prove myself with words. Instead, I gathered emails. I reviewed contracts. I looked at my calendar. I made one call. I wasn't going to cry in bathrooms anymore. I was going to act. What they didn't know was that I was more than a manager. Over the past 5 years, I had helped launch 3 restaurants from the ground up, quietly, under strict agreements. The very restaurant where Linda embarrassed me? I redesigned their service system last year. I trained their staff. I worked side by side with the owner for months. We built it together. I did not need a spotlight, but I knew how to turn one on. I kept every receipt from that dinner. I saved every message where Linda tried to push me out. I did not want revenge. I wanted balance. Linda valued image more than anything. If she wanted to perform in public, I would let the truth perform with her. I would not shout. I would not beg. I would let the right person speak at the right moment. I called my mentor, Mr. Alvarez. He had guided me since my first promotion. When I told him what happened, he was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "You don't defend reputation, you let it enter the room." He told me he would be attending a major investor event at the same restaurant the next week. Linda happened to be hosting a charity dinner there that night. She bragged about it to everyone. "It's going to be elegant," she said. "Only serious people invited." I received an invitation too. My seat was at a small side table near the wall. I smiled when I saw it. Mr. Alvarez confirmed he would attend as a keynote partner. "Just show up," he told me. Linda kept telling relatives she overreacted. It was just seating. She thought I would stay quiet again. She was wrong. The ballroom would be full. Investors, press, cameras, and someone who knew exactly what I had done for that place. The night of the charity dinner, the ballroom buzzed with conversation. Glasses clinked, servers moved in perfect rhythm. Linda stood at the podium in a silver dress talking about family values and legacy. She introduced herself as a key supporter of the restaurant's growth. I watched quietly from my side table. Then the owner walked onto the stage. He adjusted the microphone. "Before we continue," he said, "I want to recognize someone who helped transform this establishment." He said my name. The sound of it echoed across the room. Heads turned. Linda's smile froze. The owner spoke about my consulting work, about the systems I built, about the training I led. Mr. Alvarez stepped forward and confirmed my leadership in multiple projects. I stood up slowly. Applause filled the room. Someone whispered, "Wait, she runs half this place?" Linda let out a small laugh. "Oh, she never mentioned that." I took the microphone. "I didn't think I needed to," I said. The owner added, "Without Danielle, tonight's event would not even function." The applause grew louder. Donors approached me with business cards. Eric looked stunned. "I didn't know," he said softly. I met his eyes. "You never asked." I did not scream. I did not insult anyone. I simply allowed the truth to stand where she tried to make me small. Later that night, Eric apologized. He said he should have defended me. I told him respect is not optional in marriage. It is basic. Linda avoided me for weeks. When invitations came after that, they were addressed directly to me, not as someone's wife, as Danielle Harper. I stopped waiting for approval. I walked into rooms knowing what I bring. Some people measure worth by pedigree or last name. I measure it by what I build with my own hands. That night, in that ballroom filled with people who once ignored me, I built my dignity back in front of everyone. Have you ever been embarrassed in front of others by someone who thought you were not good enough? Share your story in the comments. Subscribe to join a community that values character over status. Click hype to help this story reach others who need it. Did this story hit home? Let me know by liking the video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Click hype to help the story find others who have felt the same way. Your support makes a huge difference.